It's about that time.
Yes, it is. But first, before we get into this, I'm going to catch you with the question of the week.
Yes,
bacon.
what is that?
We're going to talk about bacon.
Bacon?
Yeah, bacon. First off, I want to...
What are you, Jim Gaffigan?
I don't know who that is.
He's a comedian. Yeah, all he talks about is bacon.
Oh, no, because here's what I just got done cooking bacon, and I'm just like, first off, you need like a riot shield, a police riot shield when cooking bacon, because bacon grease will tear you up.
Oh, it'll burn the shit out of you, without a doubt.
Now the question is, do you like your bacon to fucking stand up real nice and crispy, or do you like that wimpy bacon?
The way you're presenting it is scaring the shit out of me.
No, I don't know. It's not like
because you're talking about standing up hard and limpy.
No,
that's
like I like if I pick up my piece of bacon, I want it to stand straight up in the air. Like I want mine to be like if I wave it, it like breaks off and shatters into a million pieces. Like I want damn sight of your bacon bits.
I like it like that too, but I don't like it where it's burnt. You know what I mean?
I don't want it burnt. I just want it done.
Yeah.
I want it crispy.
Yeah,
I don't want bacon bubble gum.
No, I definitely want it cooked. I don't want it all soft and shit like bologna and shit. No.
So anyway, how do you guys like your bacon?
How do you guys out there like your bacon? Yeah. So anyway, we are now set for the AFC and the NFC championship games, my friend.
Yes, we
are set. I guess we'll start with the AFC side because I don't know if you'll agree with me, but the AFC looked much. I thought it looked weaker. Than the games in NFC. There was just so much. I mean, I guess on the AFC side you saw more offensive output, and on the NFC side you saw more defensive output.
In my opinion, there was only one team this entire weekend that played a full 4 quarters, did not lose interest, and played the complete game, and didn't give their team a chance to come back. Now I understand they probably played. You could argue who the weakest team was out of all the games this weekend, but I was going to say New England played the most complete. Football game. They look like the most complete team. Seattle let the Saints back in the game, and you had a moment of going, Denver just let San Diego back in the game. You're kind of like, San Francisco
had a slow start.
Once they got the lead, it was over, but it took them a while to get the lead. To me, New England right now has to be, in my opinion, the front runner. I understand they have to go to Denver now, and they have to try to beat Peyton Manning in Denver, but they're a power running football team now. All of a sudden, Bill Belichick is, in my opinion, going to go down as the best head coach to ever coach in the NFL to this point. Yeah. Whenever he's done.
Well, let's talk about forget the games that happen. Everybody knows that. That's old news now. But let's talk about New England having to travel to Denver next week and facing the Broncos. Because obviously it's an epic matchup once again with Manning meeting Brady. And like you said it, man, I mean, what Belichick has done and what Brady has done, them as a combination have done in New England this year is just phenomenal. It's just Brady's such a fierce competitor. Belichick just knows how to put together a game plan. He turned a Patriots team that was always so strong on the pass into a power run. And I'm going to tell you what, LeGarrette Blount looks nasty. Nasty.
It's crazy what he does in New England. Like, he takes the outcasts and the mismatched pieces. LeGarrette Blount came from Tampa. Talib came from Tampa. Like, he's getting these guys who are on the, I think they come to New England and realize this is it. Because if Belichick's not going to hold on to you, I don't think you're going to get picked up by anybody else. And that's what I think he sells them.
He has, I know, because, he did it with Moss. He has just a way of making people, developing these guys that have been problems or haven't been playing up to their full potential and making them into winners. And, anyway, fast forward until, next week. You got Brady and Manning going up against each other. 6 out of the last 7 times they've met, the game's been decided by 7 points or less. So that just and you saw what happened this season when they met. It was basically a shootout. It's just going to be, football this year has been very, very entertaining, man. It's been
so with that said, who are you taking?
It's funny. I like to see the Broncos win. I'm a big Peyton Manning fan, but I agree with you, man. I think the way that New England has played and the fact that they have a power running game right now in cold weather, possibly, if they can get the ball and run, you keep Manning off the field. I don't think Manning has that type. The Broncos have that they could do that to the Patriots. But if they can hand it off to LeGarrette Blount and he can bust 5-6 yard runs and wear down their defense and the Patriots hold on to the ball, that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard on Peyton Manning and the Broncos, in my opinion. Right. I think that they might go into Denver and win this game. I really do. And be in the Super Bowl again.
And to me, I wouldn't be surprised by that. But the only thing I would think that would present the New England defense is the matchup problems. I mean, Denver has so many weapons on offense. I mean, he's turning. I mean, some of the guys who caught passes tonight, I was like, "Who's that?" I was like, "I've never heard of you." But I mean,
and you're right. Go ahead.
I was going to say New England. I mean, they played defense really well against Indianapolis, and that one I forgot his name, number 91, who had the last interception of the game, the big linebacker they're raving about his athleticism. I'm pretty sure he's a rookie. He got picked up in maybe the second or third round. I'm thinking later. I'm thinking third round, and he proved well. But I mean, I don't think he's going to match up with Decker. He's not going to cover Thomas. I mean, he's going to cover Welker in the slot. I mean, maybe he can, but I don't think he can do it all game. And like you said, the key to this is keeping Peyton and all those weapons off the field. If Peyton's not on the field, he can't score.
And it's the thing, man. I mean, we said this before the cameras came on. When it comes to Brady and Manning, both of them, why they're so good is because they look at their first, second, third, fourth, fifth options. I mean, I don't care if Decker constantly makes a bunch of catches or Edelman makes a bunch of catches for Brady. They're going to constantly be looking at every one of their options. So it doesn't matter who you start keying on. They're just going to go to their other options. And that's why, like you said, you see these guys catching. You're like, who the hell caught that ball? I've never even seen this guy. Then they'll bring somebody else that who hasn't played played 2 games the whole season, and he'll drop 100 on you.
Yeah,
so
and both those quarterbacks know their playbooks in and out. So they know if, oh, cool, look, 1 and 3's covered. That means 2 and 4 should be open, or 4. Look, you're in a man. That means that you match up. I mean, they're both so calculated. You can't. It's hard. It's hard to disguise things, and it's hard to fool either one of them. And they find the guy that's open. They don't lock onto a guy like we saw a little earlier today, and try to force passes. Now, Manning's arm is not what it used to be. I think that's evident. I mean, you could see it today. I understand the wind was gusting, but I mean, even with a weak arm or a weaker arm, he's still making those smart passes like 90% of the time.
Yeah, he really is, man. I mean, I think the thing with both of these teams is that their defense, you just don't know what's going to happen on the defensive side of the ball. I think with the Broncos as well as the Patriots, they're pretty good, decent at offense. You're going to see points put on the board, but you just don't know if their defense is going to give up as many points.
Right. Whichever one of those defenses can bend and not reach its breaking point, I think that's going to win you the game.
Yeah, whatever defense shows up. You're exactly. Well, now, the $1 million question, with that being said, the $1 million question is, who do you see representing the
Seattle.
AFC in the Super Bowl?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were jumping to the NFC already. Representing the AFC, I think Tom Brady and the gang is going to find a way to do this and spoil Peyton Manning's season.
Yeah, I think so. Now, I agree with you. I mean, that would be fucked up, but I just think that, and you know what's funny? The funny thing about it is that it's a one season. This season is where on one side, Manning's doing all this, having a spectacular season, and Brady, I mean, he plays always well. He's incredible, but it's not Brady that's doing it. It's that fucking offensive line and that running game that's doing shit for them.
He didn't even throw for 200 yards in that game, and I think he threw one passing touchdown.
Yeah.
They had 5 rushing or 6 rushing touchdowns. LeBlanc had 4, and the other guy had 1, and Brady threw for 1 and under. And look, and that's ultimately what it's about. He could easily sat there and say, "Hey, I wish I should have." He could have audibled out, but he saw what was working, and that's a pro quarterback who's done it time and time again. And he's like, "Look, I want to win, and if that means I get to hand the ball to you, and you're going to score 4 times, then we win, and I play next week."
That's the one thing that's good about Tom Brady. It's not about me. Maybe something that RG3 needs to pick up on, because I tell you what, if people ask him now, he's the first person to tell you. He goes, "Oh, this is a running offense." He goes, "This doesn't go through me right now."
But RG3 is the first person there. He's the last person to leave. He works out. He studies the playbook. He studies film. What else can he do? That was that's an interview I watched him give. I'm just like, wow. It's like, way to go, kid. And that's just it. He's a kid. He's got a long way to go. And hopefully he stays healthy and continues to play.
Yeah. And that's the thing, staying healthy. It's a lot of these superstars when they first come to the league. You forget quickly how they were their first 2 or 3 years when they become superstars, and you're like, I forgot they were assholes.
Right, and they're just kids. Like, if you come out as a redshirt junior, I mean, you're just a baby. You're 22, 23. You got a couple $1 million in your pocket. Like, you've said it time and time again, and I would agree with you. I would be completely stone cold ignorant at 23 with money. I would be the best interview in all of professional sports.
Right. Yep.